Hey everybody, this is Nikki with My Life Out Loud with Mickey coming to you with another video. So, as you know, I've been reading in Genesis, and today I read Genesis 38, and again, this word came alive to me. Whew, this is such a good word. I love when God do his thing because you read the word and you don't quite understand it. Like, who would have ever knew? You read in Genesis 37, you're reading about Joseph, and then it turns around and just goes into a whole chapter about his brother Judah and marrying a woman and having 3 kids. Okay. So having those 3 kids. So it really just was a spin, but it wasn't. It all makes sense from the fact that Joseph got thrown into a pit. Then Judah goes into moving out on his own, marrying a woman, having 3 kids. Now, after having these 3 kids, one of her sons had a wife. And he married her, but his son died because his son was wicked. Okay, I'm going to give you a little story, a little backstory on it. And then I'm going to tell you what God gave me. So the son was a little wicked. So the first son, ER, died. And then he had another son that he sent up and said, okay, well, you go be her husband and you bore a child with her. And so he went to go be with her to conceive, but he felt like he was only conceiving the child because it was going to be for his brother. Come on, everybody. We know these stories. We done seen these stories. We done lived these stories. We understand what this word is. It's just God bringing it into making it come alive to you. So as he was trying to conceive with her, instead of him conceiving and he used the words, but instead of him coming in her, he put it on the floor. Okay, this is the word. All right, so I know, I don't know pushback. This is the word. Go read it for yourself. So instead of him doing it, he put it on the floor. So he died. So basically, whatever was going on was in God's will because it clearly states that God killed him. Okay, so basically, I looked at it, I said, dang, all these men that like, they don't want to get the woman pregnant. They put it on the sheet or, I'm just saying. So I looked at this word. I said, wow, God really didn't play about, conceiving kids. That's a whole nother story. But so then as it goes on, it talks about how, so it was one son left and she was a widower. So she had to basically conceive through the bloodline. So one son left. Judah goes out. Judah's wife dies. Now time has went by, and the son is old enough. He was the youngest son, so the son is old enough, and it's time for At that time, she looking like, well, where is he? He's old enough now, and Judah never sent him. So Judah's wife dies, and so after Judah's wife dies, he goes on this trip with his friends. Like let's say fishing buddies or whatever. They go on this trip. The widow wife finds out about the trip and says, okay, she's going to go meet her father-in-law, but she's going to take off her widow clothes. She's going to put on harlot clothes to hide herself, and she's going to wait for him by this road. So he saw her, and I'm like, Judah is something else. Judah was like, hey, can I come inside you? This is the word, you guys, okay? And so she like, yeah, if you give me this, this, and this. And she basically, if you give me something, I'll give you something. And he was like, well, I'll give you a goat. And she was like, well, you don't have the goat now, so give me something else. So he gave her something else, of course, right? So after all said and done, 3 months later, they come and tell him, hey, your daughter-in-law is pregnant. And he was like, no. He was like, well, we gonna burn her. And then she was like, well, before y'all burn me, take this to my father-in-law so he can find out who my baby daddy is, right? So he take it to him. And the part that got me was Genesis 38 and 26. Because in that part, let me see if I can get to it fast enough. It says, so Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than me. She has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah, my son. She has been more righteous than I. Okay, that's what got me. At first, I'm thinking, I'm reading this. I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand, what this is tied to. But then it was like a light bulb came on. When I got to that, she is more righteous than I couldn't let up off of that one part. She is more righteous than I. And I kept saying, okay, God. And then as I started reading, it just kept coming more alive. And so I went over it again, and then I started studying into it. Y'all, when I tell you that the way God brought this word in, I'm just saying, this is somebody's breakthrough season, because now as the word goes on, she had these kids. Now, when she had these kids, she had twins. So, of course, God gave her what? Double for her trouble. Okay. So she had twins. Now, one twin stuck his hand out first, which they put the thread around to call him first. But then the other kid broke through the first one and broke past him and came out first. And then the other one. And they named him Perez. Y'all, let's get into it. So now, there are people. Okay, I'm going to read from my notes because I'll be trying to not do too much rambling, but I just get so excited when I'm on here, and then I'm still learning all of this. And I don't care about telling you guys I'm still learning how to be on videos, because I'm not a video person. But let me tell you, I'm a God person. So whatever God tells me to do, I'm going to do. Okay. So in this season, God is saying so much in this chapter. There are people who betrayed you, made you believe that they would help you, and somehow they didn't help you, and you got it done anyway. There were people that was assigned to your life. I don't care who these people are. They could be your parents. They could be relationships, friendships, employment, whatever. There were people that saw you, people that God told to help you, people that was supposed to help you that did not help you, but somehow you got it done anyway. And for whoever's listening to this, baby, give yourself grace, because you got it done anyway. Okay, so that's first off. She was waiting for Judah to come and give her the last son so that she can conceive a child. She was a widow woman. She wasn't allowed to go outside the bloodline. So she had to have a son by this bloodline. And so they're a child by this bloodline, son. So I look at it and say, okay, Judah did not help her. Judah turned his back. Judah went back on his word. So that's when he came back and said, okay, 26, verse 26, she has been more righteous than I. So there is people that have betrayed you, okay? Let me go. Even though you have been wrote off, betrayed, they still wanted you dead until they realized God's purpose was still upon your life. That's what happened. God's purpose was still upon her life. When she conceived by Judah, now she waited. His wife was dead. He was a single man, but she conceived. She knew this was my time, and she went and she conceived by him. Now she saw an opportunity in a moment, okay, to press in. And because of that, because he was not man enough to keep his word, he turned around and said that she is more righteous than I. In this season, there's people who wrote you off. There's people who betrayed you. There's people who turned their back on you. But what God is about to do in your life, he's about to show up and he's about to show out. And they're going to say, she is more righteous than I. Meaning they already wrote you off. They never thought you would be anything. They never thought you would be nothing. Even when you became something, even when you did what you did, even when she stuck in there and she didn't go off, she could have went off and went with another man. She could have conceived somewhere else, but she stayed the course and she stayed loyal to the task. And therefore God allowed her to be blessed anyway. And let me tell you about that blessing. It don't look like how everybody else think it should look. It don't go the way you think it should go. This chapter proves that God's ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. Okay? He's going to do things the way he wants to do them. Oh, you got a wicked son? Kill him. Oh, you got a son that don't want to conceive, that want to throw my child on the ground? Kill him. I'm telling you, y'all better be thankful for Jesus in this season, in this lifetime. God giving us free will, because when he looked for sin, he looked at Jesus, because God didn't play. Let me tell you, I'm going to go on. So even though you have been wrote off and betrayed, they still wanted you dead. That he wanted her dead after he found out that she might have went outside the bloodline, right? He wanted her dead. But when he found out it was his baby, when he found out that she did the right things, there's people that looked at your life and thought that you were doing everything the wrong way. They thought that the reason why you were going through what you were going through is because God didn't see you as, you didn't look blessed. You didn't look like a kingdom kid. They didn't know you were going through in order to get to. They didn't know it was all about the transition and the transformation of you becoming what God has called you to be. They had no idea. They were just looking at the outer appearance, and I'm going to get to that. But they were just looking at the outer appearance, not knowing that God had his hands on you the whole time. She is more righteous than I. He tried to kill you, write you off. Now, when God do this thing that he's about to do and he do his big one, they're going to have to say that God had his hands on you the whole time. Now, God's will, nothing more, nothing less. In this season, the way God is about to bless you, people will confess that you were righteous the whole time. Now, Genesis 38:26 also states that Judah, making the comment, she has been more righteous than me. She could have been counted out of the bloodline. Now, come on, I'm talking to, who you think I'm talking to right now? I'm talking to our black sheeps of the family, okay? You could have been counted out, all right? Some was counted out. Now, some people try to count themselves back in by converting over to being a part of whatever that covenant was, or that coven was. Let me say that coven was. But yet you decided to go ahead and do it your way, to go stand out and do it God's way. Let's not say your way, but God's way. But you still did it in the bloodline. You still did it You still are the generational bloodline curse breaker. Okay? Period. So that part tells me, God was showing me the bloodline still works, baby. It still works. Okay, when she went to go have her baby to conceive by Judah, it proved that the bloodline still worked. She still did things decent and in order. Even though she had to do it however she had to do it and she still got it done, the bloodline still works. Meaning there is some things that you may be fighting generational curses, but there's also some strengths and some blessings in there, okay? You got blessed by these bloodlines ain't all crappy. These bloodlines just ain't all curses. There's some blessings in the bloodline. So when she went forth to go ahead and conceive with Judah, the bloodline still works. There's still blessings going to come out of this bloodline. There's blessings and prayers that have went up before your time. There's blessings where people have passed away before you, and you're going to reap the harvest of the bloodline. Come on, who am I talking to? She reaped the harvest of the bloodline. The bloodline still works, baby. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Do you perceive this thing? Something new is about to happen for you. Okay? So now it goes on and says she was counted out, but the bloodline did it in a different way. But the bloodline still works, meaning that she could have been counted out. But again, she did it different, but she got it done. The bloodline still works. You look different than everybody else, but God is still getting it done. Okay? And if I gotta look at it, it just came upon me to say the blood works. The blood of Jesus works. Okay? So the blessing was in the bloodline. As I said, the blessing is still in the bloodline. She stuck to the plan and got it done. And not only did she get it done, she received double for her trouble. How do we know? She had twins. Okay? So God is telling somebody in this season, no matter what it looks like, the bloodline still works. It's still a blessing in it. Okay? Not just that, but I know that you've been betrayed. You know, I know you've been thrown aside. I know some people were supposed to help you that didn't help you, but that's okay. Because the bloodline still works. The blessing is still on the move. And not only that, but I'm about to give you double for your trouble. Come on, somebody. Go read this word for yourself. Genesis 38. So now, moving on. And the one they marked for first was actually last. So she conceived twins, as I told you before. Now, one of the ones stuck his hand out. Now, this is the part that got me. Come on, somebody. God is doing this thing. One of the twins stuck his hand out. And I'm almost finished. One of the twins stuck his hand out, and they wrapped a thread around it, and they said that was going to be the firstborn. But let me tell you something about this kid in the background. Okay? He came busting through and came out first. And then the other one had to come out after him. Now, they named him Perez. Now, any of y'all Bible scholars know the name Perez means breakthrough, burst forth. Let me tell you how people that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And it don't matter what hour you stand in, because you're in the 11th hour, no matter what it looks like. Meaning that even though that this baby came out with his hand, okay, looking like he was going to be first, Perez bust through there, baby. Bust straight through there. Something is bursting forth in your life. The breakthroughs is happening right now. God is showing me there's a Perez happening in your life right now. There's a Perez standing right before you. There's a Perez standing right next to you. There's a Perez, and your touch is going to be tangible. Let me tell you about your Perez. Your breakthrough is happening as we speak. You understand me? Your breakthrough is happening right now. Now, what's so profound about that, the last being first and the first shall be last, how did you break through a breach was a question in the scripture. How do you break through a breach? How did you make it through the betrayal? How did you make it through the slander? How did you make it through the lies, the abuse, and the torment? How did you make it through the breach? Now, God always continues to give me 9:19, which means God is repairing the breach. God is telling somebody today, I have repaired the breach. I have prepared the bridge that you're going to cross. You're going to cross tomorrow. You're going to cross in the next 24 hours. You're going to cross in the next 3 days. I don't know when you cross, but baby, you're crossing over. Come on, somebody. This word is good. Now, the last part to this was Zerah. Now, Zerah was the brother, the baby that came out after Perez, okay? So then when Perez came out, comes Zerah. Now, guess what Zerah means? Zerah means brightness, okay? So the brightness appeared upon other people's lives, but the breakthrough happened when God burst you forth. So God was saying Zerah appeared first. Okay, but Perez broke through, baby. So there's some people that counted you out once again. They counted you out. They appeared to stand in a spotlight before you. Some of them even probably ostracized you, talked about you, ridiculed you, and said some things behind your back. Okay, they stood in the light. But let me tell you how God said you about to break through. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Brightness was appearing, but breakthrough was emerging. Do you understand me? Brightness was appearing, but breakthrough was emerging. So Perez means breakthrough, bursting forth. The one that was expected to be first came second. You hear me? The one that was expected to be first came second. You coming up next, baby. You coming up next. You bursting through this thing. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. 11th hour coming out. This is your coming out season. What was supposed to come after broke through first, baby. You broke through this thing, and you're about to show up, and you're about to show out, and God is going to show up and show out through you, in you, and for you. This is a show out, show down. People better get ready, because you're about to do the thing, okay? So now, delayed but not denied. You understand? Delayed but not denied. So what God is about to do will show the naysayers, the liars, the betrayers. God had his hand in it no matter what it looked like. You're about to exceed past those who thought they arrived first. Let me tell you about the ones that arrived first. When God is in it, God gets it done. So no matter what it looked like to the other people, 2 men had died. Two men that had died. She couldn't conceive. Then she had to go figure it out and get it done anyway. How many things have died in your life? How many things that didn't happen and people look like, oh, you failed, or she's a failure, or he's a failure, or he can't get nothing, can't get right. Okay? And God got it done anyway. It's all about the process. It's all a part of the plan. When God says something is going to get done, it's going to get done. And you're a done deal, baby. It's already done, finished. He wrote it already. That's the part people don't understand. You're already a whole finished work. He wrote it already. It's when you stand outside the story, when you stand outside the promises of God, is when your life don't look like the promise. Now, everything is falling in place as we speak. It's all falling in place. And I just want to give y'all a little briefing on what he made me know. What he made me know about the last being first and the first being last. The last shall be first, but the first shall be last. Meaning there are some that started first, but they will end last. You in first place. And that song, You in First Place. So you in first place, baby. It's a done deal. You ran your race. You stayed the course. You was obedient through it all. You are in first place. Okay? So then it says the human expectations. This is a side note. That's why the wait is so intense, most likely because of human expectations. What we have learned from other people, or what we think things should look like in our timing. So we see other people's lives and we think our life is behind, but we're right on time. You're in the 11th hour. You're delayed but not denied. Though the vision tarry, wait for it, okay? It's all about the breakthrough. Some people are still stuck in first gear, literally, still stuck in that place. Your breakthroughs are about to leave them where they're at, meaning they are not evolving. There's a difference when you're evolving in silence. I love you guys. This was the word. You're breaking through in Jesus' name.